Meanwhile, at the Storm Sanctuary, two reporters get ready to ask Storm questions. Better have my pad. Here she comes. Here she comes.
Oh my God! I'm so excited. Where are you from? What are you from? A website? TikTok?
I'm from the Wall Street Journal. It's a reputable newspaper. You probably don't know what a newspaper is.
I'm from my TikTok channel, OMG Faggot, and I'm here to ask the hard-hitting questions.
I think I'm offended. Oh, here she comes. Here she comes. Oh, Storm. What do you think of the socio-political climate now that you've saved Oklahoma City? Wow. Storm. I just need to know, are you team Sabrina Carpenter or Chappell Roan? We need to know. You don't know who they are? Wow. Storm. What are the whereabouts of your fellow X-Men? Oh.
Storm. I just want to ask, when you do join Congress, are you allowed to walk in with a mohawk? Because if not, I'll start a protest for you. That's all I'm saying.
What is wrong with you? This is a lifetime opportunity.
I'm sorry. I need to ask the questions my fans want to know. Jesus Christ.
Well, keep it classy. Storm.
Okay. Storm. Go ahead.
Storm. Where exactly in Africa are you from?
Sorry. That was offensive. Storm, who are you fucking right now? What? The inquiring minds want to know. All right, fine. I'll be serious. I'm going to ask a serious question. Storm, what? I don't care what you have to say about mutants. I want to ask the real questions. What is your opinion on abortion? If you're late, you just kind of zip zap your belly a little bit and then it goes away. Why are you looking at me like that? I don't understand. Why are you looking at me like that? I just want to know, because I'm saying if I was going to have an abortion, I would totally.
She tasered him.
Oh my God.
We haven't done one of those in a while.
Trying to find those. And we forgot to put the regular music underneath. Oh.
We're a little rusty. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
We are slowly transitioning production duties from EvilJeff to me. And hi, I'm Brett. I'm your co-host of Comic Book Queers, episode 318. And we're in a place of not knowing who said they were going to do what. So we'll have.
No, I knew I was going to do it. I just forgot where the button was.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to see the next 18 episodes. I'm going to handle the production board. And we'll see what happens. Probably nothing great because I call it a production board. How are you, sweetie pie?
I'm great. It's amazing. I'm just excited. There's good TV on. There's some good comics happening. And then there's some fun bad stuff to talk about. So I'm excited.
Oh, yeah. Some real fun bad stuff. We've got, I just want to say, right now we're thriving for comic book TV. We've got two absolute bangers. I'm not going to talk about Agatha and Penguin just yet, but I just want to start the episode by acknowledging that they're good shows.
Yes.
Both of them.
Oh, are we talking about Penguin?
No, we won't.
Oh, okay, good, because I haven't watched the next episode yet.
No, we didn't say we were going to talk about it.
Okay, good. But we will be talking about it.
It's very good.
Yes.
But something I do want to talk about is something very bad.
And were you like something?
I was all like something.
And he was all like, and she was all like, and then they were all like, and I was all like, what?
Because I'm all like, we are talking, of course, about Joker, Folie, Dukes.
Oh my God, you said it in the most American way possible.
Well, I think that's part of the problem.
Folie Duke? How do you say it? Folie Duke?
Folie Duke?
Folie deux. And
But-
deux is two, right?
So
And doesn't that mean something? The whole phrase together.
isn't it
means
like
something?
folly of two?
Folly of two? Sure.
I would imagine. We know nothing about this movie other than the whole plot.
Well,
the ending.
the thing that's sad is Lady Gaga is from
Gaga.
Lady Gaga. That's not true, is it?
I wish.
But Lady Gaga, she comes from the previous generation of pop stars, which I hate that she's now considered a more from 15 years ago, where
Yeah.
you created this brand of perfection. And I think Lady Gaga doesn't know how to handle failure. And although what is probably wrong with this movie has nothing to do with her, I feel very bad for her because I don't think she's going to be able to handle this being a big flop that it's going to be.
So it is already a big flop. I just want to preface this by saying we're going to spoil this movie. Neither one of us have seen it. That's where we are.
Oh, yeah. I have no. Well, here's the thing. Did you watch the first one? We talked about it on here, didn't we?
I did watch the first one. I
think we talked
despised
about it.
I actually walked out in the theater.
Did not. You walked out? You didn't finish
did.
it? I
did.
finished it. I did not like it. I think the problem was, and the thing that's crazy is the director, I don't even think intended it to be so incel-y.
I think that this movie, the sequel, is actually a response to that. Again,
Which
based off
I
what
thought
know.
would make it good. But I think maybe in his head was like, I'm just going to make this the worst movie ever so that all these incels will kill themselves.
I'm going to make it a shit sandwich so that they'll eat it and die.
And I think this was the problem when Dave Chappelle, which all the problems that he has, but he left his show, the Dave Chappelle show, because he
Yes.
started realizing the wrong people were laughing at the sketches he was doing about the black community. And I think that's the thing is he was making a movie about the critique of the fragile, toxic male.
Yep.
And instead, it like the toxic males came and just embraced it and thought it was the best thing that ever happened.
Thought it was an homage, not the most self-aware folk, the Boys audience. You know what I mean? That certain section of the people that watch The Boys that aren't very
Yes, the boys that didn't
self-aware.
realize that Homelander was the bad guy.
correct.
And they're like, he was the bad guy? And you're like, did you not see like in the first episode where he shot down a plane full of children?
So can I walk you through the plot and ending of this movie, and then you'll really, yes?
I've just heard, I'm going to go through just what I've heard.
Okay.
I have heard that the majority of this is just a trial of what he did in the first episode.
100%.
And
so
then
even-
the people that I have seen it, they're like, you think it's going to end, and then another fucking musical number starts, and it becomes infuriating. This is what I've heard.
So that sounds so painful. And also, it's literally in a courtroom about the actions of the first movie. I mean, right there, that should tell you that this whole thing is a critique of the phenomenon that was the first movie.
Yeah.
So what happens is he actually, so he's on trial for all of his crimes from the first movie. Lady Gaga is Lee Quinzel, who turns out to be just kind of like a fan. And so she becomes the first kind of super fan for this guy's Joker persona. But through the course of the trial, and I believe because of an assault, which may be sexual, in jail, he denounces the persona of the Joker, the character of Arthur Fleck, denounces the persona of the Joker. The trial ends, and I think it ends by him saying, like, I was a lunatic. I was wrong. This persona is not something that should be revered or looked up to, Lady Gaga. It should be destroyed. It should be forgotten, and it should be looked down upon. So he goes to jail, having made that statement. No longer wearing the makeup. There is no more Joker. Except for the inmate who, at the end of the movie, in the jail, stabs Arthur Fleck to death, and then paints a smile across his face, indicating that this person is the Joker.
Did they give a name?
Nope,
Like, is
just
it
a
like
guy. Just a guy.
Okay. And
Just some guy.
they CGI'd Heath Ledger.
They CGI'd Caesar Romero.
Romero.
May God rest his soul.
I would go to the theaters right now.
It actually is. You know how they did Ian Holm in Alien Romulus? They did it to Caesar Romero. It is a CGI Caesar Romero who walks up to Arthur Fleck at the end of this movie and goes, ho ho,
and then Lady Gaga's walking, and then a CGI'd Eartha Kitt slashes her throat.
That's right. And
what happens to Lady Gaga at the end? Does she also denounce it, or is she all mad?
No, I think she's all mad. Like, I think she just lives on.
Isn't it great? Not only have we not seen this, but we are still spoiling it, and I love.
We're still spoiling it, and we're judging it. The best part is that we're judging it.
We're saying it's bad and not watching it. Yeah.
Lady Gaga does understand failure. Art pop. Hello.
But I think even she had trouble admitting that was a failure. And I think she's not. I think the new brand of singer, chanteuse, everything are trying to be more relatable. And I think they're also trying to put her in. They're putting her and Joaquin Phoenix doing the press junkets. And it's like, talk about the two least...
It's like anti-chemistry.
The least relatable human beings ever.
So
someone told me, I haven't seen it, but people said there is a thing where he's like, yeah, it's not good. And she's like, no, it's good. And he's
lip
like,
reading.
No.
Lip reading during the standing ovation at Cannes.
Yeah.
Lip reading. That's where they get that from. I saw the video. And you see the lip read subtitles, and you're like, oh my God, this is totally what they're saying.
Hilarious.
And she's like,
hilarious.
Come on, it's not that bad. And he's like, it's horrible.
Well, this, I will say, this is what we call karma from Joaquin Phoenix deciding
I'm so happy this happened.
Leave that Todd Haynes gay film because he decided he wanted to win another Oscar by sucking cock and then wimping out on sucking cock at the very end. And so this
With
is
Danny
what you
Ramirez, by the way.
This would I know who every straight man would want to suck Danny Ramirez's
Absolutely.
cock. Are you kidding me? I'm telling you right now, if he sucked that cock, this movie would have been a hit. That's the way karma works.
While if he sucked his cock while Lady Gaga was going
Oh, and can we just also mention the song, the album she released with it?
Oh God.
She released that cover song, The Joker.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know the other famous thing that covered that song?
No.
The Australian TV show Kath and Kim. That is their theme song.
You can't do that. Who cares?
And so I'm watching her sing this being like, I know this song.
Oh.
And then I'm like, why do I know this? And then people are like, it's the theme to Kath and Kim. And then I was very confused.
Girl,
like she took the theme to Kath and Kim, and then I found out it was like an older song. I didn't.
Is it like,
because when I saw the theme to Kath and Kim, I didn't. No, it sounds like a Bond song because it's like the Joker. It sounds like Goldfinger.
Oh, I don't know that.
And I just know it as a theme song to Kath and Kim, and I thought it was made up to sound like a Bond song, but it was a real song. And then she covered it, but everyone's like, "That's the Kath and Kim theme song, dummy." So you know what? This was a fail. This is going down to actually be
D.
worse reviewed than Madam Web.
It got a D on Cinema Score.
But here's the thing. I was happy to go see Madam Web and watch it be horrible.
Me too.
And everyone that I talked about, the thing that's bad is that they said the songs are not that good and it is boring. It is boring.
You know, I don't know if you saw like some of the online banter around how Hollywood Reporter is covering this movie being such a bomb. Like, hang in there, Todd Snyder. At least you're in company with Francis Ford Coppola because his piece of shit or his opus bombed. But it's like, you fuckers, like, you dragged Nia DaCosta for the Marvels. Like, you dragged Chloe Zhao for Eternals. And then, like, you dragged them. Like, you tried to end their career, Hollywood Reporter and Variety, by the way, the two most toxic voices in the industry. And then you're like, oh, pat on the back, Todd Phillips. You made an even bigger piece of shit, but that's okay because you're a man.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Hollywood, where if you're a woman, you get one chance at a blockbuster. And if you're a man, you get, that was a good try. Let's try again.
And even if you do succeed at your blockbuster, Catherine Bigelow, you still can't get to compete.
Yeah. Did Catherine Bigelow have a blockbuster?
Oh, she won the Oscar. She won the Oscar.
I mean, she won the Oscar, but I don't think it's not like
The Hurt
Zero
Locker
Dark 30 was
made billions of dollars. Zero
no,
Dark
but
30,
she won.
sorry.
Did she win for the Hurt Locker or Zero Dark
Wasn't
30?
it
I think
Hurt
the Hurt
Locker?
Locker. Yeah.
All right, enough.
Enough of this shit. What are we talking
What else we
about
got
next?
Oh, we're going to talk about X-Men comic books.
Are we talking about comic books right now?
Y'all.
All right, here we go.
It's mutants with powers, Omega for hours. Bitch, let's read some X-Men.
We should do a we should do like a lip sync video to that, like on our TikTok. When we have so many good ideas for a TikTok. Anyway,
we need
X-Men
a marketing
comics.
person.
We really do, Debbie.
All right, what
X-Men
are we
comics.
talking about first?
Not much. We have 2 X-Men comics, one of which is huge. But let's talk about the one that's not huge first. X-Men number 5 by Jed McKay and Ryan Stegman. This book is crawling along.
Yeah, it has a big reveal, but I feel the reveal was kind of given away in
the reveal. Oh, it was in the teaser for who 3K is, the villains.
Yeah.
So this is,
yeah.
and even like in the nature of this issue, like they're doing a psychic rescue, like a silent telepathic rescue, which Grant Morrison started. And of course, this one too, much like Grant Morrison's, has to involve this character that we're talking about, who was the villain in Deadpool and Wolverine, by the way.
That's right. We got some Cassandra Nova is the one kind of helping out. But it's not clear whether she's triggering the mutant DNA or if she's just helping cover it up.
They show experimentation. I think she's running the experiments on.
Okay, she's just yeah.
Yeah. So a little bit more of a window into what her and the others, and God help me, I cannot remember who, when her identity was teased as part of this new villain group, who the other teases were. We'll have to go back and look.
I don't remember.
Oh, you don't even care. You're yawning.
I'm yawning. Look at that.
Bitch.
I'm like, fuck it.
Oh my God.
I do like that it was.
In this book?
It did have a thing where Quentin Quire admitted that his head was chopped off by Sabretooth. Did not mention how his head came back.
Thinking. Thank you. So we don't know. Am I stupid, or do we just not know, or both?
He did not say, and he was dead after Resurrection ended.
Right. So
because even Dakin died after Resurrection ended, and he came back as Helverine, not through Resurrection. So how did he come back?
So also, like, how did he come back the other time when he was an old man and he just like had these bodies that he was just gonna walk into? And
it was so bad.
What
I think
happened?
sometimes, I will say, sometimes the X-Men editing team are so hungry for a cool twist that you're like, how's this twist going to affect this character 10 years down the line? Is it going to make them better or worse?
Or not?
And if it's going to make them worse, don't do the twist.
All it did was establish that they're continuing to make him the Kenny of the X-Men. That's a South Park reference.
Yes. Oh my God, they killed Quentin.
There you go.
You bastards.
So some things I liked in this were, like in the beginning, I liked Psylocke and Grey Crow being like, you can stay. I got to go, but you can stay.
But then she was like,
you can stay.
But then she was like, and you're just going around robbing banks?
Right.
So he's still a full-on criminal?
I mean, I guess, like, you gotta, what else is he gonna do to make money, you know?
I really want them to analyze the whole, and I've brought this up before, analyze my whole, but I want them to analyze the entire, I murdered a bunch of children.
Would love to examine that.
Can we examine why we're all, because I was like, oh, I'm reformed, but then it's like, no, I'm going to go and like shoot up some banks. And you're like, wait, what?
I mean,
so
he's
you're
not killing
bad.
people. He's just stealing money. It's FDIC insured. Like, it's a victimless crime.
I've been thinking about this the other day. If you win the lottery, because FDI insured is only what, $50,000?
Oh, girl. We are out of our depth with this conversation already.
No, but my question is, if you win the lottery and win like $100 million, where do you end up putting everything?
There's a whole world for people who have that much money that you and I don't know about, will never know about.
But I don't trust people. They're like, oh, you get it to someone and they invest it everywhere. And I'm like, they'll steal it from me.
Oh, that's happened many times. It happened to Eric from The Grind.
Can I tell you that Eric from The Grind, Marky Mark, and Jean-Claude Van Damme were literally my entire jerk-off
Spank Bank.
playlist.
Oh, for sure.
Spank Bank. From 1990 to like 1993.
I will do you one better. I had the old Saturday Night Live sketch Schmidt Gay, the gay beer commercial with Chris Farley and Adam Sandler. I had that on. I recorded that episode like by happenstance, and so I had that sketch on tape, and I played it. I jerked off to that so many times.
I may have recorded that as well.
What, and me jerking off to that sketch?
To you jerking off? No, to that sketch. And at that time was when I also thought Adam Sandler was very hot.
Same. He was.
And there was, at that same time, did I ever tell you how I stole my first Playgirl magazine?
Yes, you did. Didn't you put it in like a different magazine? Or was
Yes, I told you how, but I didn't tell you why. Who was on the cover?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
You did tell me.
And I remembered being like, I have to steal that. I have to steal it. And then later on, there was another Playgirl cover, and it had the guy who played Superboy. I don't know if you ever watched. Remember that show?
Oh my God, yes.
And both times when I got it, fake out interview, they weren't really naked. Of course. Like, why would they be like, yeah, I'm on the show Superboy. I'm going to show my full dong.
Here's my dick.
Ugh.
Okay. One thing that really was weird is that Psylocke called Amelia Voight Amy Voight, and I was like, wait, why does that feel weird? What's her name? Wait, it's Amelia, not Amy. Why did you call her Amy? That's weird.
Who is that again? Which one is that?
The redhead, the teleporting redhead that had the affair with Xavier for a while.
Oh, right. Yes.
She was an acolyte.
Right. I guess Amelia, Amy. I guess that could be a short version of that.
But like, Psylocke doesn't know her.
She read the files. I'm gonna try and no price this. All right, whatever. Is there anything else interesting happen in this? I don't think so.
No, it's just like, like how many times are we gonna photocopy the silent issue of Grant Morrison? Know what I mean?
I know, and it's not even silent. And I guess that's the joke, is because he keeps talking.
He's like, I'm Quentin Quire. I don't do things, but I know.
Yeah.
Then just do a normal. I don't know. I get it. I get the homage to Cassandra. I get the bug room. I get it. Fine. Whatever.
It's a bug room, but that's the other thing, is don't say bug room and then have a surprise reveal that it's Cassandra Nova, because bug room is the reveal that it's Cassandra Nova. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know what? There's a whole audience of people now who know who Cassandra Nova is and don't know what the black
know
bug
what the
room
bug
is.
room is. Oh, okay, fine.
Thanks to that movie.
I'm trying to. Yeah, but then Ben Liu is awake. He did wake up, but is he now freed from Cassandra? But Cassandra Nova, I don't know.
I don't think they freed, because they just got the hell out of there.
Yeah, I'm also just like not a fan of the whole, let's make more new mutants. I'm done.
I'm okay with it.
No, I'm not.
Now.
You know what is it? I'm not, because Gail Simone did it and I loved it. I think it's just like you do it. If you do it bad, then I'm going to call you out. They're just not doing it good. I just don't care. Don't create a new mutant with alien reality warping powers and then have him be in a coma. I'm not going to be able to get to know him. I don't know. I don't want to talk about this anymore. I hate it.
All right, let's talk about Storm #1. Storm has her own solo series. This is iconic. I loved it.
Storm. How is she going to be an Avenger and run for Congress? She's never going to be on the voting floor.
Didn't they say like that's? Didn't they say like that was a rumor that she was?
It was a rumor, and then she went to make an announcement, but before she could actually say anything, she admitted, that mutants are the cause of a lot of bad things, and then they all kind of like pissed off. I just gave away the end of the book.
Oh my God.
But Storm.
So
Glorious
Storm has her own
Storm.
book, and it looks incredible. First of all, the art by Lucas Wernock is
Yes,
absolutely incredible.
Which is, I mean, talk about a contrast. No offense to X-Men, but I'm not a fan of the X-Men art.
And then our writer, Maruya Ayodele, I don't know of any other work he's done, but I'm already a fan.
Yeah, this is really good. It's really setting it up for people who know Storm. It's setting up for people that don't know Storm. It's taking place and making sure you know what's going on in the whole world and the whole comic book world. But it's also like, hey, but this is now her own story and this is her own plot. And
I love that it's set in
Thank
Atlanta,
you.
Georgia, and not Marvel Manhattan, number one. I love that we're in
Yes.
that corner of the world. I love more than everything that we've given her money, fabulosity, this incredible closet. Like, have you seen her closet? Have you seen her closet? This is page 1 where she's looking at all of her tiaras and all of her dresses. I'm like, this is my favorite comic book. Because look at this closet.
No, but where did this all come from?
The divorce.
Because there's so many different ways she got the money from this. Maybe Emma gave it to her, or did she get it from some settlement, or did she get it from Wakanda? I'm very curious.
I feel like Emma and Warren and Xavier bankroll this whole fucking thing. And when people need money, they're just like, M's, A&G, Charles.
Yeah. And
I have
also,
a vision for a sanctuary.
And I also feel that this feels like a new beginning because
From the ashes, a new beginning.
Well, but from Storm has had a problem. She has had a whitewashing problem.
Yes.
She is given white hair, literally white hair, blue eyes. She's not even part of the African American community. She is African. And then she has only been written by white men or white women. And then even when they do want her to find her roots, it goes to Wakanda, which isn't real. And she has never had or been written with a connection to like the Black American experience. And so setting this in like Atlanta, Georgia, and actually having Storm be there for Black people, it's like, it's just like, it's sad that it's like, I feel like, oh, this hasn't been done before.
And thank God it's
Which
been
is kind of,
done, like,
I know, but you're kind of like, it's really bad that this is like the first time this is happening.
But like, I'm just so glad that she's not running around like she's not like the guardian of the West Village, you know, like she's in
a
place known for a robust African American Black population.
Exactly. And I just think that it's like, and she's been given stakes. The stakes are, am I really the spokesperson for mutants? Do I want to be the spokesperson for mutants? Like she was given queen of the solar system. And now she's kind of like trying to come back to like some sense of just like, no, I just want to be there for the actual human population. And that's the thing is she's considered a hero. There was a big explosion in Oklahoma, which also, Oklahoma explosion, that also has a huge history with the Black community. And she ends up saving the day and everybody loves her. And because of her, people love mutants. The people that do love mutants look up to her. The thing that they don't know is that Orcus had kidnapped a mutant and was using him to power this like power plant. And his power went out of control. And that's what caused the explosion. So it's kind of like, who was the person talking to her about it? One of the Avengers. Was it Tony?
It was Tony, yeah.
Tony. So Tony's like, we could just keep this quiet and you can be the hero. And she's like, no, I want to tell the truth. And it's like, but if you tell the truth, everyone's going to hate mutants again. And I think that's just like, it's just a very simple stakes, but it's huge stakes.
And it's exactly the type of situation that I love to see Storm in. My favorite Storm is do right in a moral dilemma despite the cost Storm. Like when Storm is the only voice for what the right way forward is. And everyone else is like, yeah, but have you considered? And she's like, no. I have
And
considered.
sometimes that right way is the hard decision, because sometimes that decision
typically is.
we shouldn't kill someone. And Storm's like, no, actually, we do need to kill this person. So sometimes the answer isn't always the
Like the
morally
moral, yeah.
righteous answer. But she knows, like, she sees, because in the end, Storm is the one who's always playing chess. And I think that's the real key of when they had that line in the other comic where Storm and Cyclops were like, no, we can't be on each other's team. And I think it's because when they're both plotting many moves in advance, they have two different outcomes, and they have two different views of how
strategies,
things should be.
completely.
Exactly. And so this is all about how Storm strategizes. And people need to take note of this comic, because you can have high stakes with a moral dilemma rather than being like, oh no,
world
there's a
is
weather
gonna blow
person
up.
that's going to blow up the entire world, and now Storm needs to stop it. You don't need that bullshit. You just need Storm being a badass. And they have her sidekick being Frenzy,
Which is one of my favorite
who
parts
is
of
a
this book.
former villain that is notoriously has a bad temper, can't control her urges, makes the wrong decisions.
Talk about somebody who puts such a wonderful mentor-protege dynamic kind of implicitly with Storm. Like, Storm, who is also a black woman, who is considered, one of the greatest heroes in the world, and then here's this reformed villain who clearly looks up to Aurora Monroe, because who doesn't look up to Aurora Monroe?
Yeah, exactly.
And could learn a lot, kind of like she does when she almost, lets an Orcus member die instead of saving them. I actually really love that scene where Frenzy lifts up rubble, sees that it is somebody wearing Orcus gear, and then she could just drop the rubble right back on the dude. But Storm is right there like, what are you doing? And she's like, the right thing. I love the panel where Frenzy, it's just red, like it's Frenzy's shocked face, and it's just completely red when she sees the Orcus t-shirt, and just the anger and the rage and the shock and the hurt that she's filled with in that moment. And then she transcends it. It's pretty wonderful.
Yeah.
I also love that they gave her this Storm sanctuary, because that elevates her in terms of like the superhero pantheon of the Marvel universe. Like, she gets her own Fortress of Solitude. She gets her own Batcave. She gets her own invisible jet, Island of Themyscira. Like, she is now elevated in terms of her status as a hero in the broader Marvel universe. I'm putting it like, as soon as I saw that she had the Storm Sanctuary, I'm like, she's officially Marvel's Wonder Woman. That's it. End of story.
Love it.
Carol Danvers doesn't have a Ms. Marvel mansion.
Carol Danvers is closer
Captain
to
Marvel.
Superman than Wonder Woman in a way.
Sure, I don't mean like, I mean in terms of popularity. Like, I mean, who is the alpha female of this universe? Yeah.
Yeah.
The Superman of the Marvel universe is Spider-Man.
What? Really? Okay. What is that based on? Just like popularity, you mean?
The most iconic character in the repertoire. The most popular, the most iconic, the most historic.
All right.
They're Batman.
Who's the Batman? Tony Stark? Iron Man?
Yep.
Okay. And who's the Joker?
Thanos.
No, Thanos is Darkseid.
No, in terms of being like the villain, like, name a DC villain, Joe Q Public, the Joker. Name a Marvel villain, Thanos. Like that.
Right. Okay. All right. Or is it Magneto?
Right. It's Thanos.
All right, well, that's Storm. It's great. The art is great, and I'll also say the costuming is great.
Oh my god!
And this is also
end.
the drawings and everything. This is someone who understands black hair, who understands black fashion. Hello, and it's gorgeous.
And then at the end, it looks like Eternity, the cosmic being, selects Storm, pulls her right out of that mutant hatred and into a cosmic adventure.
Yes. Who is that? Who is that person again?
It's Eternity.
Okay. What else were they in?
everything, like one of the core cosmic beings of the Marvel universe.
But like, is there a story that I would have read that they were prominent in?
Any cosmic story, every single one.
I'm not into
Pre-Skull
cosmic.
War, you know.
Yeah, I'm just not I'm not into
Secret
space
Wars.
stuff. I
Yeah.
never got into Guardians of the Galaxy. I never got into Silver Surfer. I don't like Galactus. The Shi'ar, remember when there was a whole X-Men world where it was Havoc, Polaris, and Rachel, and they spent like 3 years on the Shi'ar?
During
I hated all of that.
Yeah, I remember that.
I didn't like any of that. I don't like
Gabriel,
space.
yeah.
Would you go into space?
No.
Yeah, I have no
Absolutely
desire
not.
to go into space.
What an inconvenience.
The
Oh.
only way I'm going into space if they're like the world's going to blow up and everybody needs to evacuate.
I'd be like, you know
and I'd
what?
Like, okay, fine.
Like, you can't breathe out there. You always got to have some shit.
Yeah.
I'd be like, let me die here. Let me turn
Yeah.
on Twin Peaks. I'll just keep watching Twin Peaks until I dissolve.
Oh God, that's such a weird. That would be. I don't know if I could watch Twin Peaks as the world ends. That would creep me out.
It beats
I would
what's
just
going
put
on
Barney.
outside.
I would put on Barney.
Teletubbies.
I love you.
Just keep looking at the sun, baby.
Should we talk about? Should we talk
Speaking of
about
purple.
Stuff that we watched?
Speaking of purple, yes.
What you watching? Is it me naked? No? Oh, fine.
Well.
Can I just tell you that I
Well.
went to my first? It was not at a house. It was at a bar.
Okay.
A bar was having a
A
Agatha
bar
watch
was
party.
showing Agatha All Along.
A gay bar.
Gay bar.
A gay bar.
Yes.
It was a gay wine bar.
I
So-
did not watch this last episode with the group, and
Yeah.
I was missing it.
The group was very silent. They were like, it was a very weird culture. Like, I wanted to, and I felt like if I did, people would be like, "Shut the fuck up, faggot." I'd be like, "You're gay too."
I know,
And they'd
right?
be like, "Yeah, but you're the faggot."
I know you're like, but my commentary is funny.
Right. And like the drag queen that was hosting, I was like, "Do better. May I have that?"
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking, of course, about Agatha All Along, episode 4. It is called, I forget what it's called. My song will reach you. My song if you're not within reach, my song will teach. And it is the trial of, I don't know, kind of low key my favorite, Alice Wu Gulliver. I don't know. I kind of
Oh,
love
she's
her.
your favorite? She is not my favorite.
No,
right
Patti
now,
LuPone's- Patti LuPone's
Patti
my favorite.
LuPone is killing it.
Patti LuPone is like deep comic relief for this show.
And I
But
will
I-
say, I did not like Patti LuPone before this, and she has made me do a 180. And the other thing that's come out of this is the friendship between Aubrey Plaza and Patti LuPone is
Incredible.
crazy.
With Joe
Have you
Locke
watched-
living with
have
them
we
too.
Have you talked about have we talked about the Hot Wings episode?
Oh
seen
my
that?
god, I have the versus version. So Aubrey
there's-
versus Patty. Yeah.
There's one where it's
The Madonna.
like the Madonna, where it's like, you said the Madonna's a movie killer. You can either look into the camera and apologize or eat a death wing. And then she just immediately puts the death wing in her mouth. But Aubrey's like, I fucking knew it.
I fucking love you.
love you. I love you. And then she's
I
going off
knew
on
it.
Kim Kardashian and she's just like, marry me. Marry me. And then and then the whole story, you heard the story where she almost killed her?
No, yeah, what?
She told the story on Seth Meyers, but basically she got the flu because they were living together because Aubrey's
On
doing
the Upper West
Broadway.
Side. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And she was living with Patti LuPone while
Yeah.
she was doing Broadway.
Joe Locke was living there too.
It's so hilarious.
Because he was doing Sweeney Todd.
Oh, right. And then I love that Patti LuPone was like, everybody just live with me because I need to teach you how to be on Broadway.
Yeah.
And she basically was
And
sick
Aubrey
and she's
was
like,
not on Broadway.
oh, is she just off Broadway?
Yeah. Same
well,
theater
anyway.
as O'Mary.
Anyway, she agreed to. Patty was like, "I'm gonna have my guy come and fix you up." So she has one of those IV to the stars, where they do an IV and load you up with stuff. And so he was like loading her up with vitamins and B12, and then he's like, "Do you want the Patty special?" And she's like, "Sure." And the Patty special is right before she goes to bed. He pumps her with a bunch of Benadryl to make her fall asleep. And so he does that, and then Patty came home and was like, "No, not the no!" And then it was this whole story of her forcing her to eat a turkey sandwich because she couldn't handle that much Benadryl. And in the end, she's like, "Patty, why are you doing this to me?" And she goes, "Because you need to toughen up. It's Broadway. You need to learn to toughen up."
I heard that part. You need to toughen up.
And I do think it's like, I don't know if anyone has ever watched Parks and Rec. But one of my favorite moments from Parks and Rec is this girl named Tinifer joins the team. And she's like, "Oh my God, my name's Tinifer. It's Xanax o'clock." And then immediately how do you say her name? Aubrey
Plaza.
Plaza. Why did I say O Plaza? I think I'm Aubrey O'Day. I'm mixing up Aubrey O'Day and Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah.
But anyway, her character April suddenly is like, "Oh my God, yes. So who's your spin instructor?" And then it just cuts to the thing where she's like, "She's the worst person I've ever met. I want to travel the world with her." And I literally think that's the exact same thing.
That's the exact same dynamic.
I think Patti LuPone is a level of old lady chaos, and I think Aubrey sees her and is like, "This is everything
but also,
I want to be."
The ultimate diva. Like, nobody is telling Patti LuPone what to do anytime soon or ever. Yeah. And also, she gets to say Madonna sucks because that's original Evita saying to movie Evita, like, no.
I mean, and Madonna can't say shit because they had to change the keys of the song to make them not power notes that she originated.
Power bottom. All right, let's talk
and
about
I will say
episode.
in this episode, Patti LuPone is fucking Liza Minnelli. She's dressed like Liza Minnelli from Studio 54. It's
so
amazing.
They're on the road. They're burying Sharon Davis, a.k.a. Mrs. Hart. They're like, we don't have a green witch. We need a green witch. And so they chant a spell because Teen has a spell book. And they summon the nearest green witch. And wouldn't you know it, it's Aubrey Plaza.
Rio.
She comes out of the dirt. They're like, the other ladies are not, they're meeting her for the first time. They're like, "Are you a green witch?" And she goes, "Well, I'm not a green witch. I'm more like the green witch," which was hilarious. And then Catherine Hahn is so upset. Agatha's so upset that she was the one that showed up. We'll find out why later, kind of.
Well, I have a question. Was she the Black Heart?
I have to think yes because...
On that list.
Because
that she didn't want to get.
Because Agatha got so mad that the Black Heart was on the list. And you're not going to have another character that Agatha is so crazy and passionately angry about. It's Aubrey.
Okay. And... there's clearly you could cut the sexual tension with a knife. You already in the previous episode, you could. But they're interrupted. I will say all of the witches are kind of like, well, hey, she hates Agatha, so I think she's kind of cool.
Cool in my
and
book.
even Sashir's character, Jennifer Kale, is kind of like, am I want her number? Like, I think they're all becoming lesbians.
I think they're all lesbian. I think they always were.
All witches are lesbians. The end. But
cool
they end up entering a new house on the road, and it's all 70s glam rock, and that's where Alice realizes, oh, this is like my mom.
It's my mom's house. Yeah. It's the old studio, or it's the party. It's where the 70s shit happened. It's where the stereophonic shit happened. That's one thing that's my one complaint. I got to get this out. My one complaint. If you're going to do a TV thing, I need you to do it. Like, it can't be Mayor of Easttown and then nothing and then Big Little Lies and then just the 1970s. That's like, the referential stuff is so loosey-goosey. I really enjoyed the game of prestige TV and also horror movie. Because, like, they've been doing both, sometimes at the same time.
So what is a horror rock, glam rock movie? What is it, The Apple? Did you ever see that one?
I would be more, what is the I think the question is more, what is the Big Little Lies? Like, what is the Mayor of Easttown? That's the thing I'm missing. The horror in this was clearly Evil Dead. They did the Sam Raimi camera for
right, with the stuff and then the chant and the curse. I guess that's true. But Evil Dead but then it added the glam rock 70s thing, which is not Evil Dead. So
and
that's what throws it a little bit.
But to me, the game is prestige TV to start, and then we get into horror movie. And so,
but I still feel it's shining. It is shining in the last one.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
but
okay.
I'm saying I want a strict formula of, we're going to make fun of a prestige TV show, and then we're going to get into the horror movie tropes of a specific horror movie. Like, that was the game I wanted, and
they're being too loosey-goosey for you.
They're being too loosey-goosey. Like, this is 1970s. It's not a TV show, and that's driving me crazy.
Yeah. All right, that's fair.
But otherwise, I loved this episode.
Alice tells everyone, don't touch anything, don't do anything.
Don't eat anything, don't drink anything.
What does the faggot do? Immediately plays a record. It said play me. You don't think maybe you should fucking ask everybody after you've been told not to do anything? Don't think maybe fucking ask? Or do you think he knew?
Has an agenda.
That's what I mean. Does he know? And he's playing very dumb.
I think he wants to get to the end. So I don't think he has the time or the patience or the desire to check in with the group. I think he's like,
but doing that, he's knowing he's putting their lives in danger because they're not going in with a plan.
Welcome to the richest
Is that
road.
what he is like? I don't give a shit. Like, when there's a reveal of who he is, which is Wanda's son, which we will talk more about that later. I'm curious if it's going to be like, I put the sigil on me. You know what I mean? Or something like that, where he knows he's actually been touching the dark arts in order to get back to his mom. 100%. And he hates her. And he actually hates her. But no, it's cool what I just said this. Remember when they said the sigil, you forget if you put the sigil? Yep. Maybe he does hate her, but because he put the sigil on himself, he doesn't remember that he hates her. And that's why 100%. He's treating her nice.
Oh, I thought you meant he hates Wanda.
He might hate Wanda too. Well, I mean, he's looking for her, so we don't know why. But I can't imagine him. But I feel like...
No, I think he could hate Agatha, maybe.
Yeah, but I think he probably knows Wanda's been looking for them. And that it's probably more Agatha's fault. But anyway, in this... Alice, we found out in the previous episode she has a curse on her, and the curse killed the grandmother, the curse killed her mother, and the curse is going to come for her. And when they play this record backwards, the curse is released, and now everybody has the curse. And the only way to do it is to play the road song, which her mom made. And this is really cool, where she was like, my mom's selfish. My mom was just looking for the road. And basically that she realized that when you play the road, it helps ease the curse. So she made a hit song of the road so that it would always be playing somewhere so that the curse on her daughter would be eased and she would live longer.
Yeah.
And so she found out her mom wasn't a selfish cunt.
No, her mom was a protector, and also, just like her.
The fact that her mom died in a fire in a hotel was not because she was a druggie and it was an accident. It was because the curse got her. Exactly. So this poor girl is realizing all of this stuff and hating her mom, and then realizing her mom was trying to save her the whole time.
Correct. And so the one thing she'll never do is listen to the song, be around the song. And so in order to lift the curse, she has to perform this and perform the shit.
And there is the next part of disbelief. No practice, and everybody knows the rhythm section and the bass.
They even checked in with does anyone here know how to play an instrument? They're like, I don't know. And Teen was like, I can play guitar a little. And then all of a sudden,
they're like, I know the whole song to this. You're like, okay. But I mean,
isn't that part of the spell?
You got to go with it. Exactly.
The daughter. I would imagine Alice has it in her. She's she knows how to play.
And they basically sing the song amazingly. It's like full Bohemian Rhapsody moment. And then they kill the demon. But in all of the brouhaha, Teen gets injured. And
Fatally.
this is where Agatha really drops the facade. She is scared to death, and everyone's kind of taken aback that she is suddenly very concerned and does not want this.
She's in a panic. Yeah,
she's in a panic, and after she finds out he's okay, she goes off to make some hanky panky
Well,
Rhea.
while before that though,
Oh,
while
yeah, that's right.
it looks like he's dying, she gets Jennifer Kale to think of a way to save him, which she does. And then while it looks like Teen is dying, she looks at like someone's touching her and she's like, don't. And then she looks at Aubrey Plaza and goes, don't. Big clue on who she is.
Because you think she's deaf?
Yes.
That she's going to take her away. But then she grabs her and takes her aside and is like, that's not he's not yours. Saying
but before
it's
that,
not Mr. Scratch.
That's right. The boy's not yours, which a lot of people, can we talk about it? Fine. Like,
people are getting angry, and here's the deal.
Why? What?
Because they're saying that they're
why.
copping out and not saying it's all, even though it's 100% there, they're not being like, she was my lover, I'm a lesbian. They're not saying anything out loud. And you're like, then it would be taken down. I don't think they will say those exact words because it would be taken down in China. It would be taken down in Saudi Arabia. It would be taken down in all those places. And I think they're trying not to do that. And they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. And at this point, I'm actually like, whatever, just... It's so 100% obvious that they're lesbians. I'm fine with it. I don't need it spoon fed to me. I get it.
You know, when I was doing comedy, I wrote a play I cast myself in the lead, called Mark and Brandon Kill Demons. And what I wrote for my character, Brandon, was that he had an ex-boyfriend, Luke. And Luke would always show up at the most inopportune times, and it would drive Brandon crazy and throw Brandon off of his game. And Luke was this antagonist who Brandon had to reconcile at the end because Luke was Lucifer, Brandon's ex-boyfriend. I wrote a character for myself where my ex-boyfriend was Satan. And I love that Agatha Harkness is fucking death.
Because she probably had an agenda. Maybe that's why.
Because Agatha probably... Well, she said it. Agatha gave me bodies. So Agatha would kill witches. She would suck their power out. She'd kill the witches and hand them over to death. I think they had a business arrangement.
But I bet you she was doing that business arrangement because she wanted her son back.
Maybe. But also it's clear that Aubrey had to take the son. She says that too. Where she's like, she's my scar. I had to do something as part of my job that she didn't want me to do, and I had to do it anyway. And so she won't let me lick her twat anymore.
So...
But didn't we say episodes ago that Agatha Harkness is a lesbian? Didn't we say...
Yeah.
Thank you.
Although I did also say someone was going to die in each episode, and that has not happened. So...
Ooh, that's a good segue.
Off on that.
That's a good segue, because I want to talk about Lilia's moments, her flash forwards.
Okay, so she is a medium. She kind of
prognosticator
and divination. Who are these people? Because she disappears and is saying she herself disappears and she starts talking as someone else, saying these weird things. Who do you think she is? Is she a different person every time, or is she the same person?
I think that they're all from her trial, and I think it is future her. I think it is the her that's going through the trial, having to go back and tell these people things, or like live these moments. Or I think she has to. I think.
So in her trial episode, it's going to go back into all.
She's going to say all of these. She's going to go through all of these moments. I think she's going to have a tarot episode, and so the tarot cards that she's. I think she has to remember what the tarot cards are, and I think she's already said them out loud to the rest of the coven. And so I think the coven has to like tell her what I don't know. I think like future Lilia is going back into her body, saying things, trying to communicate to the other witches so that the other witches remember this shit and help her through her trial. That's what I think.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
And it's great.
This show's great. I also love like they looked at the moon on the door of this episode in the house they were in, and they were like, "Oh, it's waxing moon. That's fire." And this curse was all about burning. This trial. Prior
and the
to
previous one was water.
Was the full moon, and he goes, "It's a water sign," And so next I think is Earth.
Earth or air. Well, Earth
probably.
would be the Green Witch.
Oh, right.
And so then air would, and then air
Lilia.
is, as someone who reads tarot cards, air is the brain, mind. So that is the divination.
Lilia.
one.
Yeah. One other thing I want to talk about is teens' clothing.
Yeah.
It is the same color scheme as Wiccan, and if you look at his that like Wiccan's latest costume, it's been his costume for a while, where he's got like the galaxy, kind of the stars like on his, and then he's got like gray and then a red cloak. Anyway,
Yeah.
Joe has got the same color scheme, and his jeans have got white painted stars and comets and moons all over them, exactly like Wiccan's costume.
That might be I mean, I think you're reaching a little bit, but
No,
you know
I
what?
think
I'll
it's
let
actually
you.
very
I'll let
deliberate.
you.
I think it's actually
I'll
very
let you.
deliberate on the costume designer.
Okay.
It's like stars on his jeans. Come on.
Well, he's just gay. That's just gay.
I don't have stars on my jeans.
I do. Ooh. Show them gams.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else we have to say about Agatha All Along?
Lesbians. MCU has lesbians.
Lesbians.
And
Isn't Danny Thomas one?
That's Lebanese Blanche Rose.
Oh my God. Yeah, I fucking love this show. I love it.
Look at Aubrey's costume
love
even.
it.
I'm telling you, the costumes are deliberate. Aubrey's costume is Death's hooded robe.
Oh, okay.
Just like in the Marvel comics.
Sweet.
I'll see you at the end. And also, the 70s version of The Witch's Road by Lorna Wu was a fucking banger.
Yeah, we should. I wonder if there's going to be like in that one where it looks like Wizard of Oz. Is there going to be like a Wicked like Broadway version of it? I like that
I saw
too.
some cowboy stuff coming up, some Old West stuff coming up too. Do you think there'll be a
Fun.
twanger?
Oh, nice country version.
Down the road, down
Oh,
the
yeah.
witch's road. Devil went down to Georgia.
Yeah, I'm excited, and I've also been I've been watching Heartstopper
Me
with
too.
Joe Locke.
Yeah,
and,
it's so weird
I'm
seeing Joe as Charlie and Billy.
3 episodes in, I believe, and it's very sad.
It's very sad, but you know, Charlie, I think, so you're 3 episodes in, so you saw that Charlie has finally asked for the help that he needs.
Yeah.
So he'll be okay.
But it's
you know who has become my favorite? Tao. When Tao was like, "What's wrong with Charlie?" and was like demanding answers because he noticed, I was like, he's my
yeah. But
favorite.
the other thing is, he finally got rid of that terrible haircut,
What a difference! He's so cute, he's so
and
cute.
now I can handle it.
Hair makes a difference.
Yeah, and Kit Connor. I don't even like gingers, but he is so hot. It's crazy.
I know he's playing a high school kid, but he's not a high school kid. He's in his early 20s.
He's 20,
Right?
They're
He's
both
20?
20. They're both
No,
20.
Joe Locke's 21. Joe Locke's 21.
21, but Kit Connor is younger than Joe Locke, so he's 20.
Yeah.
Or maybe they both just turned 21. But when they started Heartstopper, they were only teenagers.
They were not. They were teenagers. Also, Kit Connor is in Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, with
Here.
Rachel, who's her name?
Zegler.
Snow White? Yeah.
Which is incredible. I did just see the Big Gay Jamboree, by the way,
What's that?
which is the people that made Titanic. This is their new show.
Oh, what's the premise of that?
The premise is a woman wakes up and she's trapped in a Broadway musical.
Oh, that's
And
fun.
it's Marla Mindell who wrote Titanic and played Celine Dion, who's very vulgar and very funny. So it's just her, basically,
And
as herself.
The sad thing is everyone I've known who has worked with her has not had nice things to say.
Oh, no. Well, it's also Constantine Rizzulli as one of the characters. And wouldn't you know, 2 days before I saw the show, wound up sitting next to him at a coffee shop.
Who is Constantine? Who is that?
So let me... the only thing I can think of is in the other two, Remember when Jimmy Fallon was in that like Property Daddies couple, and they had like they were breakfast and nooner.
Oh right, he was
the other one.
Oh okay, got it. I remember.
He was nooner.
Hilarious. Oh my god, so
my
much
God.
stuff going on.
So much stuff. Oh my God, I can do this all day. Except I can't.
Yeah, but we're
'Cause
not.
we have to
We're
shut
going
it
to end
down.
things now because we're gay and we have things to do. We have places to go. We have people to fuck. And those people to fuck are going to be of the same gender or of a non-conforming gender or of the queer variety. It could be any of those things. And it's why is it that we fuck those types of people, Brett?
Because we read comics.
That's right. And if you read comics, then that makes you queer. Bye.
Bye.
Shazam.